So what do you think? I know it was QDMA, now it's NDA. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen over the 20 years as maybe a trend in the deer habitat world? We had this question asked to us yesterday on a podcast, and I'm just curious on what you've seen. You're immersed in it. Um, Anything come to mind? And I didn't prepare you for this, so I apologize. But
No, and it's one I've given a lot of thought to because I've definitely seen some changes in deer habitat mindset among our members and among deer hunters. Just like in my time with communications, when I came to work here 20 years ago, it was to produce the magazine. That was what we had. We didn't have a website. We didn't do social media. There wasn't any social media. Facebook came along shortly after that, and Twitter and YouTube and some others. So, over time, communications has changed. We've spent more and more of our time on digital and less of it in print, and reaching more and more people in digital. But on the habitat side, in terms of how things have evolved in those 20 years, I can definitely tell you that, 20 years ago when I came to work for this organization, food plots were huge. Food plots were the thing. When you talked about deer habitat, that's what people want to talk about. What do I plant? How do I plant it? Etc. Not that they didn't talk about other things, but food plots was dominant. And the change that I've seen, the way I describe it, is essentially people learned how to do that and they started looking beyond the food plots, literally looking into the fields and the woods edge, bordering the food plots and saying, hey, I can help with deer nutrition here in this plot. Can I do it out here also? And so we have, as an organization, shifted our education to respond to those questions, to share new information and new research that has come up about forest management and field management and prescribed fire, tree planting, all the other ways that you can increase or improve deer habitat, increase deer nutrition, increase cover, increase fawn survival, do all the things we want to do to improve deer where we hunt, beyond something that we plant with a hand crank spreader and put fertilizer on. So that's the change I've seen. There's much more interest now in forest management, in fire, building cover, encouraging native species without planting anything. So all of these additional techniques, that's the trend I've seen. Of course, people are still planting food plots. It's just that's been the changes that originally when I started with this organization, food plots was the big dog in the discussion. And now it's almost, one of many topics that get covered anytime deer habitat comes up. I mean, I'd love to know the percent breakdown of your podcast. If you categorized every minute you spend talking about deer habitat, what would the pie chart look like in terms of food plots versus timber management, forest management versus, native warm season grasses and field management and fire, things like that? I'd be interested to see. It's probably pretty diverse, wouldn't you say?
yeah, I think so. Brian, what about you? I mean, I think we started off heavy in the food plots when we first started because I think that's what a lot of new managers do too.
Sure.
But what are your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, for sure. I think Lindsay nailed it. A lot of people start out there because, let's face it, it's easy and you get quick results. You're not trying to take a large swath of land and turn it into switchgrass or something that may take 3 to 5 years or whatever it's going to be for whatever you're planning. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see that transition from everybody concentrating on food plots to a holistic approach of trying to make the entire property and give the herd, not just the deer, but turkeys and grouse and whatever else we're trying to manage for in different areas, give them everything they need.
That's a perfect point, Brian. It's an entry point. Food plots are. It's an easy entry point for most deer hunters into habitat management. I can do this. But as soon as you can do that, you realize you can do more.
Hey everyone, we got some more choices for more videos for you here. Also, if you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. You can also follow us on all of our social media. Just search for Habitat Podcast. You can pretty much find us anywhere. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.